Girl, please excuse me if I'm coming too strong, but tonight is the night that we can really let go. My girlfriend's out of town and I'm all alone. Your boyfriend's on vacation and he doesn't have to know. No, man. That's horrible, man. That's a horrible song. I can't believe that's out. Man, you guys like this? That's a horrible, man, that's rough. It's like back in the player days, you know what I'm saying? That's a player song right there. Enrique made crazy. Anyway, this is the prediction for the January 29th light welterweight fight between Timothy Bradley and Devon Alexander. This is for the WBC and the WBO titles. If Bradley was to win, the WBC would then become vacant. I don't understand all that stuff anyway. I don't know how that happens. Anyway, I'm going to break down both the fighters and then I'll give my prediction at the end. I'll start this out with Timothy Bradley, and he's 27 years old. He's 26-0-0 with 11 knockouts for about a 41% knockout ratio. Not big. He's not a massive puncher, but everything he throws is he throws with conviction. He throws with what he has. He's a very aggressive fighter. This tends to lead him to be open to counters, you know, when he does become aggressive like he has before in past fights. He's a very veteran fighter. And what I mean by that, and I've said this for a while now, is even though he's only had 26 fights, he fights with a certain slickness, a certain ability with his counter-punching, his ability to get in and out, his movement, his head movement, of a fighter that seems like he's been around like an old-school slick fighter, you know. He's had that very good win, I thought, over Bigragu, and that was at welterweight, so he can fight the bigger guys even, which is kind of exciting if you think about it. He had the good wins over Peterson and Holt as well, the Whittier fight. He's very active. As I said, he has lots of movement. Works the jab well, and he does that to the head and body. He has good head movement. He has a good chin. He has an average D, and that's because I don't like where his hands are. And if anybody knows me, if you've seen any of my videos, you know, if the hands aren't up high, you know, to go along with the head movement, I'm not a happy fan with your D. He has good timing, and he can counterpunch, but as I said earlier, he can be countered when he opens up and becomes really aggressive. When he really starts pushing the issue, he can get caught. He likes to work inside and throw the combos inside. He has very good stamina, and his last 7 fights went the distance. Now, I'm not really concerned about the Nate Campbell fight because that was stopped, you know, in the 3rd round, but we're not talking about that. The other 7 fights that he's done have all went the distance. There's no question about his stamina at all. And he has, you know, very limited weaknesses if he does. As I said, he can be countered when he gets aggressive, and he's got good speed, but if he fights a fighter with great speed, he's going to struggle with that, as anybody would. So, let's go over to, and he's 5'6", 69-inch reach, just throwing that out there too. Going over to Devon Alexander, who's 5'7", with a 72-inch reach, or 71-inch reach. And he's 23 years old, so he's younger coming up. He has the height reach advantage, as I just said. He has all the skills and ability to be a world champion. There's no denying that. He holds some titles. So, you know, the IBF and WBO, come to think of it. And with that, you start thinking to yourself, what is he missing? What's in that package? Well, we saw in the Kotelnik fight, it seems like he still has a bit of inexperience when it comes to the pro game. He throws over 1,000 punches a fight. He's very, very active. He works that jab like it's going out of style, but he's not accurate with the jab. In the Kotelnik fight, you know, he threw like 600, 700 jabs, but he only landed 648 jabs. I don't know, but he only landed 64 of them for 10%, and that's horrible. That's not accurate at all. That's just basically keeping somebody away. Now, whether or not the cut, you know, that he suffered in that fight contributed to that, I don't think so. He's just not accurate enough when he throws a lot of his punches, and that comes when he's struggling a little bit. The fight was close with him and Urango when the stoppage came. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from him. He beat Urango. That's bottom line with that. You know, the fight was close. Some of his later fights have been a lot closer. The Kotelnik fight, a lot of people argue maybe if it was in a different place, he possibly could have got the decision or maybe even a draw with Alexander at the time. As I said, he's active. He's got a good jab. He has very good movement. He's not extremely accurate. His combos, he gets in, he gets out. He's a counterpuncher with the slickness and the timing. These guys are very, very similar when you start looking at what they do. I don't like the way his hands are either, but then again, there's very few fighters that I like. I like Amir Khan's, but you know what I'm saying? So, they got to be up there. You got to stick with it. You got to stick with the game plan. Is this a young Timothy Bradley with a little more power? I mean, he's 21-0. No draws, and he has 13 knockouts for a 62% knockout ratio. So he's got, decent power at this weight. Lighter weights, it's hard to get that big knockout percentage because you just don't have the butt behind it to really land those massive shots. Maidana does, though. But like I said, it's one of those rare phenom kind of things. So looking into this fight, you can try to tear it apart and say, well, he did better against Witter. Witter hurt his hand against Alexander. You start piecing it and trying to figure it out. And I think the Kotelnik fight really showed us something there, with his struggling with the experience and stuff like that, and his fading near the end. Now, how much of that had to do with the cut? How much of that had to do with maybe him taking Kotelnik too lightly because he saw what Khan did to him? Or is it that inexperience? Is this the one thing? Because I'm telling you, Bradley has the speed and the ability to make you pay for that. And I would go on record as saying Bradley is the best fighter Alexander's ever fought. And I love Alexander. I watched him fight in the amateurs. I've said hi to him a couple times. I don't know if he remembers me because, he's the big dog on campus and I'm just the big guy on YouTube, right? But, I would love to see Alexander win this fight. I would be ecstatic. I don't think he does, though. I think Bradley pulls out the decision. I think it's going to be a very close fight. But I think because of Bradley's style, because of his experience, that takes him over, and that pushes him just that little bit over the edge. Now, if this fight was 2 years from now, and Alexander had 2 more years of experience under his belt, and Bradley was 29, still in his prime, I would lean with Alexander. I would go with the Devon Alexander route on that. I think this fight comes about a year and a half too early for Alexander to really take advantage of it. Much like I thought with the Berto Mosley fight. I thought Berto was too inexperienced to fight Mosley. Now, I think Berto takes out Mosley. Okay, anyway, forget all that. I'll get the Pacquiao-Mosley prediction later. Not doing that now. I'm doing this one. So, there you have it. I have Timothy Bradley winning this one. I might even say it's going to be a split decision. I think it'll be a very close fight, but I think Bradley takes it. Okay? I hope I'm wrong, but I don't want to go that route. I'm not going to go, I wish, I'm going with Bradley. Okay? Anyway, this is Bigragu. Please feel free to comment, rate, subscribe if you like it, or if you see this link right here on some other channel other than YouTube, go to it, check out my other videos, alright? Hey, well, again, Bigragu, and I'm out. Coming to